Well, I've looked at several different zoonotic diseases. One of my big interests was the spread of disease by birds to humans. Many years ago, I was doing a study on house sparrows and found that most of them carried a nasty bacterium called Salmonella that actually caused diarrhea and sickness in humans. I've also looked at a parasitic disease called toxoplasmosis that is spread by cats to humans and can cause a nasty disease in some individuals. And I've also looked at influenza vaccines because, of course, in many cases, influenza is a zoonosis because you've all heard of swine flu, and you've also heard of bird flu. These were primarily surveys trying to determine how common these infections were in these species. And in the case, for example, of Salmonella in birds, while we initially found it in house sparrows, actually trapped in my backyard, we then looked at other species, at seagulls, at geese and ducks. Seagulls especially, they poop in reservoirs and water, and they can contaminate the water. So in fact, we find that Salmonella is an abundant bacterium in wild birds. Now, how often it causes disease in humans is not at all clear. There are other better ways of catching it, as it were, for example, from chickens, than from wild birds. So much of what we were interested in was trying to work out how prevalent it was out there in wild animals, and trying to really get an estimate of how important it was as a source of disease.